The first snow of the season always made me feel like a kid again. I'd roll 3 perfect balls of snow. Stack them. Give the snowman a carrot nose, a scarf, and my old winter hat. It stood in my front yard near the sidewalk, where kids could see it on their walk to school. Everybody smiled when they passed, except Karen, our HOA president. She walked up. Clipboard in hand, frown ready to attack, she said. Snowmen aren't allowed on front lawns. It disrupts neighborhood uniformity. I laughed and said, it'll melt in a few days. Then I'll file a report before it does. That night, the snowman was gone. Someone had kicked it apart. I checked my camera footage. There she was. Bundled up in a red coat, knocking it over at midnight. I wanted to be angry, but mostly I was shocked. Who does that to a snowman? The next weekend, it snowed again. I rebuilt my snowman, bigger this time. Right back in the same spot. By evening, it was flattened again. No note. No warning, just tire tracks and broken snow everywhere. That's when I decided I'd had enough. If she wanted to play games, I'd build one she couldn't break. I started with a thick plastic barrel as the base, packed it with snow and a layer of ice, then another barrel on top, filled with frozen water bottles. I covered everything perfectly with soft snow so it looked normal. It wasn't just a snowman, it was a frozen statue. The next morning, I saw Karen standing across the street. Glaring at it, she muttered something, got in her SUV, and slowly backed toward it, same trick as before, only this time. The snowman didn't budge. I heard a loud crack. Her bumper shattered and the taillight exploded. She slammed on the brakes and jumped out, staring at the dent in disbelief. Then she saw me standing on the porch with my coffee. I smiled and said, guess he's built better this year, Karen. Tried to call the HOA emergency line to report property damage, but the footage showed her backing into my yard on purpose. The insurance company called it driver negligence. She had to pay for her own repairs over E10 bye-bye. After that, she stopped talking to me completely. The HOA never mentioned the snowman again. In fact, the next newsletter added a new line. Winter decorations are permitted so long as they don't obstruct walkways. Translation, don't mess with the snowman the following winter. I rebuilt him. Same spot, same scarf, same grin. Kids came to take pictures. Neighbors brought cocoa and laughed about the toughest snowman in town. Even Karen's husband walked by once and said quietly, that thing's still standing, huh? I just nodded. Now, every December, I build that snowman, not out of anger, but as a reminder. Sometimes you don't need to yell or fight to make a point. Sometimes you just need a snowman strong enough to stand his ground. Soft ending, wind blowing, snow falling, slow fade out.